last class we discussed regarding the baud rate, SPUF register along with ESCON register. So we'll continue with the topic in this class. The first topic is what are the steps you're going to follow when you're going to transfer the data serially. The first step is, so you should set a baud rate. So whenever you want the variable baud rate, means compulsory you should make use of the timer 1 in the mode 2, which is nothing but it is an auto reload mode. So this value, that is, you should load a value of the 20H in the T mode register when you want the variable baud rate. It is also called as a auto reload mode. Since you want the timer 1 in the mode 2 configuration, so in the T mode register, timer 1 means you are going to make use of the upper 4 bits. Mode 2 means the D5th bit should be equal to 1. So the equivalent of that is 20H. So this value you are going to load into the T mode register whenever it is a timer 1 in the mode 2 configuration. So in case of the serial port communication, compulsory, so you should make use of the 8-bit auto reload mode if you want the variable baud rate means. The second step is the TH1, it is loaded with the proper values in order to set the baud rate for the serial data transfer. The third step is the ESCON register. ESCON stands for the serial control register. So this register, it is loaded with the value of the 50H. So this indicates that you are going to make use of the serial mode 1 configuration. So in case of the serial mode 1 configuration, you are going to use the 8-bit data with the start bit along with the stop bit. The frame consists of a 8-bit data, start bit along with the stop bit. So this is used in case of the serial mode 1 configuration. Along with that, you are going to activate the REN pin. So this REN stands for the receive enable pin. The third step is you should start the timer by using a set bit TR1 instruction. The next step is you should clear this transmit interrupt flag. TI stands for the transmit interrupt flag. Before transferring any data serially, so you should clear this transmit interrupt flag by using a clear TI instruction. The sixth step is the character byte what you want to transfer serially, that should be copied into the SPUF register. Next is, so you should go on monitoring this transmit interrupt flag by using a JNB TI access instruction. JNB stands for the jump if the direct bit is not set. Until the value in the TI becomes 1, so you are going to remain in this loop. So when it become equal to 1 means if the character what you want to transmit, if it is transmitted completely means, then this transmit interrupt flag will be raised to 1. If that is the case means, so if you transfer the next character byte means, so you should go to the 5th step. So these are the steps what you are going to follow. So whenever you want to transfer the data. So next is the importance of the TI flag. TI stands for the what is the importance of the transmit interrupt flag in case of the serial transmission. The byte of character what you want to transmit, that byte of character should be copied into the SPUF register. Then start bit is transferred followed by the data byte followed by the stop bit. So when you are transferring the stop bit 8051, it rises this transmit interrupt flag, which indicates that the last character was transmitted completely and it is ready to transfer the next character. By monitoring this transmit interrupt flag, you should make sure that SBUF register, it should not be overloaded. That means before this transmit interrupt flag, before it become equal to 1 means, before that itself, if you are writing any value into the SBUF register means, the untransmitted portion of the previous byte will be lost. So next step is after SBUF is loaded with the new byte, this transmit interrupt flag bit, it must be cleared to 0. So next is, we'll see the steps what you are going to follow. So whenever the 8051 receive the data serially, the first step is you should set the variable baud rate by loading the TM register with the value of the 20H. So this indicates that you are going to make use of the timer 1 in the mode 2 configuration. So next is the TH1, it should be loaded with the proper values in order to set the corresponding baud rate. Third one is SCON register. It should be loaded with the value of the 50H, which indicates it is a serial mode 1 configuration where an 8-bit data that is framed with the start bit along with the stop bit. Next is you're going to start the timer by using a set bit TR1 instruction. Next is you're going to clear the RI. RI stands for the receive interrupt. You're going to clear this flag bit by using a clear RI instruction. Next step is you go on monitoring this receive interrupt flag bit by using the instruction JNB RI, XX to see if an entire character has been received or not. So this flag bit will be equal to 0 until the character has been received. So once a character has been received completely means this flag will be raised to 1. So once it is raised to 1 means that character is available in the serial buffer register. So that character which is available in the SBUF register, that you should move to the some other register or you should move into some memory location. Next step is, in order to receive the next character, you should go back to the step 5. What is the importance of the receive interrupt flag? So whenever the data is to be received means the start bit followed by the data byte. They are received sequentially. You are going to receive the data byte one by one. So when the last bit of the data byte is received means a byte will be formed and that byte will be loaded into the SBUF register. Then the stop bit is received. So during the reception of the stop bit, 8051 it raises this receive interrupt flag to indicate that entire byte of the data has been received. So this data byte, it is available in the SBUF register, that you should load into the some other register or you should save that in some memory location. So after that you are going to clear this receive interrupt flag. So in order to receive the next data byte and place it in the SBUF register. So this is the importance of the RI. So next we'll see some of the programs. The first one is write a program to transfer the letter Y serially at 9800 baud continuously and also send a letter N through the port 0 which is connected to a display device. So initially you are going to load a value of the 20H to the T mode register because you are going to make use of the timer 1 mode 2 since you want to set the variable baud rate. The T mode register should be configured to a timer 1 mode 2 which is also called as a auto reload mode. Since it is a timer 1, you are going to make use of the upper 4 bits. Mode 2 means the D5th bit should be equal to 1. So you are going to load a value of the 20H in the T mode register. And here you need to set a baud rate of 9800. So you are going to load the value of the -3 which is in terms of decimal to the TH1. Either you can load a decimal value or a corresponding hexadecimal value into the TH1 register. So next you should configure this SCON register by loading the value of the 50H. Why it is 50 means since you need to use a serial mode 1 configuration. Along with that you are going to enable this receive enable pin. So serial mode 1 configuration means you want to make use of the 8-bit data along with one stop bit. So next start the timer by using a set bit TR1 instruction. So next is whatever the character what you want to transfer serially, that character, take the ASCII value of that character in the SBUF register. That character you are going to take it in the bracket. That bracket indicates that you are going to write a ASCII value of that. You are going to copy the ASCII value of this letter Y in the SBUF register. So after that you are going to monitor this transmit interrupt flag to see that this letter Y has been completely transferred. So once it has been completely transferred means you are exited from this loop. In that case the transmit interrupt flag will be set to 1. So once it is set to 1 means you are going to clear this transmit interrupt in order to transfer the next letter. The next letter is Y. So after that you are going to take the ASCII value of that letter N in the port 0. Then you are going to short jump to a label called as again. This process you are going to repeat it for infinite number of times. So next the second program. In the second program you are going to take the data in through the port 0, port 1 and port 2 one after the another and transfer this data serially and continuously. So initially you are going to load a value of 20H in the T mode register which is nothing but the auto reload mode. So next you are going to load a -6 to the TH1 in order to set a baud rate of 9600. So in the problem you have not mentioned a particular baud rate, so you can choose any of the baud rate. Based on that, you should load that corresponding value into the TH1 register. So here you can load either an hexadecimal value or a decimal value. So then you should configure this SCON register with the value of the 50H, because you are going to make use of the mode 1 configuration in the serial port. Along with that, you need to activate this receive enable pin whenever you want to transmit the data or receive the data. So you should activate this receive enable pin. So next, you are configuring this P0, P1, P2 as an input port. Whenever you want to configure the port as an input port, means through that port you should transmit an immediate data FF. After that, you are going to start the timer by using a set bit TR1 instruction. So here you need to read the data. You need to take the data from the port 0, then you should transfer the data serially and continuously. So here you are configuring this port 0 as input port, then you are going to read the data through the port 0. So after reading the data, that data, whatever the data what you have read through the port 0, that data you are going to copy to the register A. Then you are going to call a subroutine program by using a call. The subroutine program name is send. A call stands for the absolute call. Which subroutine program you want to call? You are going to call a subroutine program called as send. So the control of the program will be transferred here. So after this, you need to, whatever the data what you are read through the port 0, that data you should transfer it serially. So that data, it is available in the register A, that you are going to copy to the SBUF register. Then you go on monitoring this transmit interrupt flag until it becomes 1. So when it will become 1 means, if the data has been completely transferred, means what the data you read through the port 0, if that data has been completely transferred means, then this transmit interrupt flag will be raised to 1. So once it is raised to 1 means you are exited from this loop. You are going to clear this transmit interrupt in order to transfer the next character. So next instruction is written, so the control of the program will be transferred to the main program. After that, you are going to repeat the same process. You are going to read the data from the port 1. That data you are going to copy to the register A. Again you want to call the subroutine program. That data you are going to transfer it by using the serial communication. The same procedure will be repeated. The control of the program will be again transferred here. So then you are going to what the data what you read through the port 2, that will be copied to the register A. Again you want to call the subroutine program. The same procedure will be repeated. After that, the control of the program will be transferred here. Then you are going to repeat the same process by using the SJMP REPT. So the control of the program will be transferred. So this procedure will be repeated infinite number of times. That means you are going to take the data in through the port 0, port 1 and port 2, one after the another. Then you are going to transfer the data serially and continuously.